So, I have a couple of questions I'm going to be covering, both from gathered from friends, Lily's friends, other Xayah players in a Google Doc somewhere in the world. And I also have some from Instagram and some from Twitter, and a lot from Alex. So, I will be answering most of them. I did spend like 3 hours preparing for this prior the stream, so you guys better be happy with it, okay? So, should we start? Where is Lily? Where are you? Okay, cool. We appreciate you for. Okay, great, you're here. I will not really be playing. I will be showing a lot of visuals though, like clips, and I'm gonna be beating up these two friends here that I have with me, cause I told them that they're not allowed to kill me. Just I will be proving points in life, and I will also be showing clips of things that I've done and talking about positioning and all of that. It feels like it's a little more in control for me to be able to show you something that already happened, so you can understand it better rather than just me going into a game and trying to answer your questions, because sometimes the situations I'm gonna be covering are rare and not always happen every game. So what I did is I prepared a whole document of answering your questions with clips attached to it. And I kind of forgot to. Alex, where did you put that list with stuff? Okay. Oh, jeez. Well, that's gonna be a little bit of improvisation because I forgot about that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're gonna start with. Okay. I will hire this. I swear, I will hire it. So, we're gonna actually start with the ones that I'm gonna be showing in practice too. Just for the main reason that I want to just kind of gather things together, I guess. So they're in sections: practice two, clip showing, runes, beating up these two, and so on and so forth. So what I'm gonna do is I will go into practice training. Why my whole family decided that now it's the time to be cold? Like, I'm getting a call from my grandma, I got a call by my aunt, and I got a call from my mom. What do you want from me? No, I am busy. Oh my god, give me a sec. Jesus. Anyway, now I have to figure out how to tell my mom. No, mom, I'm streaming. Oh, what is streaming? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, so you prioritize that over me. Anyway, I'll be dealing with that. Thank you for throwing stuff at me. Saving so I can use her to make fly. Yeah, sure. It's already expensive. It's not expensive, okay? I'm sorry. Anyway, so I will start the game. We're gonna be talking about runes and stuff after, so I will skip that. I'll lock in and we're in that. Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to be randomly flashing for a food day. Good thing um I have like what is it called? Reset cooldown, yeah, timer. Okay. Oh, thanks for the follow, Crispy. That's how I'm gonna call it. Okay, I stopped talking to my mom. I'm sorry. So I have the first question. Yes, welcome to you too. I have my first question being: there is a trick Xayah do when they throw Q and immediately recall feathers, and it roots how? And you guys don't see anything. Give me a sec. Here, now you see anything. So, I will get 3 levels. Get all my 3 abilities. We don't really need anything else here. Throw 1 dummy here. And I'm a little noob of practice too, because I rarely use it nowadays. So, the fast stun has a couple of ways of doing it. As everyone already know, you need 3 feathers to stun. So, the fastest way of doing it, in my personal opinion, is using W, not just Q and E. But you can do it 2 ways. Let me... Auto mana reset, that's good. So, you can just do this, right? You can just Q, auto E. That's the most, like, the easiest way of stunning, the most straightforward one. The way I do it is Q, W into E. It's way faster. The W adds a faster auto attack. It's not an auto attack reset. We're gonna talk about that later. But with a W, it's better, mainly because you don't wait for the Q to finish its animation. Because what happens is, you get this, and you stun. The last feather auto attack takes a little longer. So the way I do it is Q, W auto into E, which creates a stun. And also your W can also work very well as a finisher, because when you stun them, you can use your W until it runs off and then leaving them with almost no HP. Yeah, it's just way faster. That's usually how I do it if I really want to do a fast stun. Most of the time that really helps when they're high mobile champion and you're scared that they're gonna E, because for example Lucian, he E's away very fast, so if you wait for making this, he has plenty of time for them to run away. So making it like this, it takes more time. And of course, if you know where they're gonna go, you can move that way as well, just to try predict where they're gonna dash in case they have the time for it. This is the answer to the first question. If you have any follow-up questions on that, you can ask me, but that's how I understood the question, that's how I'm answering it. The fastest route that you can do is a QW auto E. The normal route that you can do is a Q auto E. Less mana used and less cooldowns used, obviously, because you're not using your W. But if you want to just be fast, this is the way to go. The second question is, what's the RE flash trick combo Xayah's do? I mean, hopefully it kills. If your idea is to do the whole combo, you want it to kill, it's a RE. Well, it's supposed to. It's written wrong. Lily, that's your fault. I'm kidding, of course. Don't worry. Thanks for making this doc. The correct way is R flash E, because if you're doing RE flash, that means you're running away from something. If you're doing R flash E, that means you're trying to stun either more targets or get more distance between you and the enemy. So there's there's a couple of things that this combo do. Is, as I said, you could use it to get away from people, because when you ult, flash, and E, you win yourself distance because they get rooted for a little bit, right? You could want to reposition yourself to cover more targets. And of course, you could just do it because you want to murder somebody. Even though then, if you're sure that you're gonna kill them, you probably don't want to flash. Unless you want to chase somebody else down. What do I mean by this is, you have... Where are my dummies? Like... For example, you're running away from these pleasant people and the scuttle crab in the middle, because I keep forgetting that thing spawns here. I also don't have 6, so I can't really show you this. Wait, give me a sec. Now you have 6, you're being chased down. What do you do? How do you utilize the R flash combo? So obviously when you're running away like this, you have a couple of choices. You can go this way, which is probably not a good idea at this point, because you don't know who's gonna be there, because you only have 3 enemies here. You can go mid lane, which is the mediocre zone, where there might or might not be somebody up here. Or you can go the safer route, which is here. If you're cornered like this, you might want to reposition. Obviously. You could just R, reposition, and fuck yourself up. Or you could flash before here, dodge whatever they have, and stun them and run away. There is a lot of ways of utilizing this. You might want to kill them, you might want to run away. There's multiple things for you to do. If anyone has any specific situation that they want me to cover, I can cover it. But to answer the question, what does that combo do? It can do a lot of things. I will be showing clips later on that will show how the combo can be utilized, I think. We have clips like this because I have a lot of ult showing clips and position showing clips, so that will actually show it in person. It's a little hard to show it here because you can't make these dummies do a scenario for you. They just kind of sit here. And yeah, there is a lot I can do with them. They don't move. And most of the time, if you want to use your flash, it's because they move. You want to reposition yourself to capture the way that they move, so you capture more enemies and stun them. That's in theory. The next one is, does Xayah has any auto resets? The short answer is no. Her W is not an auto reset. As you see, it takes the same amount of time to auto attack. It's not like Riven, for example, that actually has an auto reset. Xayah does not have an auto reset, at least unless there's something I don't know about. But W does kind of, that's the closest thing that gets to the auto reset because of her secondary feather. When you auto attack it, right, you keep auto attacking, and you W before the auto attack lands, the W feather targets the dummy because it's targeted. But that's not really an auto attack reset because it's just the smaller feather and it doesn't really apply the W movement speed either. Thank you. It's just like giving me hints here. English can't talk. Because W gives you movement speed when you attack, but if you don't attack, it's not gonna give you the movement speed when you attack. It's gonna increase from 330 to 420. That has absolutely nothing to do with the auto attack reset. It's just it's just what W does. But yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of helps you. It's not a real auto attack reset, but it does make things faster, so kind of. Your W is a half auto attack reset, it just makes everything goes faster. It's not an actual auto attack reset. And not as like Riven auto attack reset. Okay, we went through the first half. I will go to the second one, to where you guys are gonna be looking at my beautiful screen, because I will be talking about stuff and showing you clips. So, ignore League. You can mute. You guys can both mute me and yourself and just watch the stream until you're summoned. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. The first one that I got asked, here's my little cheat sheet that I have on the other screen. Oh, I don't have the... Why is the VTuber not shown here? Oh. Oopsie. Wait. Fixed. I had it like on top. Oh god, this is gigantic. Why are you so big? Oops. Not this. Wait, let me lock some stuff. Sorry. A little, I hate this fucking League sound. Leave! Cool. Here. Cool. Now we have everything organized. Oh yeah, thank you. It's one of my favorite commissions. Larry made it. So I forgot what the first question is. Okay, so how do you decide when you want to use your E for a root or when you want to wait to do massive damage? It depends. Most of the questions are gonna be it depends. Because who are you fighting? Are you winning the fight? Who has more damage? What mobility do you have? And what items do you have? Like, these are all questions that are very important when it comes to do you want to root or do you want to kill? So thank you, Eternal, for following. I was fixing my overlay at that time. It really depends what you want to do. And I have a couple of examples that might or might not help you. If you guys have any specific questions or examples you want me to cover, I am more than happy to do so. My first example is you are chasing someone down bot lane and they get really close to turret. What to do is to E them to stop them from running away and finish them off. So with that, I am just saying, hey, you can just use your E to catch somebody if the situation allows it. In that case, you want to root. Second situation is you're the one being chased down by a fed Nasus and you need to run away. Again, you probably want to just stun them, not really trying killing them and damaging them because you probably can't. So saving your life is the first reason for you to use your E as a stun rather than a damage. Second is to try catching somebody off, either to catch them for you to finish them or to catch them for your team to finish them. A lot of times I've seen Xayah mains using only their stun thinking that they will finish it. You don't have to be the one finishing it. If your team is in a position to finish it, you can CC it just for them to be stopped so your team can catch up to them. So it's not necessary for you to only use your stun for yourself. You can use it to help your team as well. Yeah, it's a little sad when they take your kill and you did all the work and then they flash Mastery 7. But, you know, you're trying to win there. How do you handle being cornered from alcove from both ends in a 1v2 or 1v3 with no flash up? Do I have Gale Force? I'm kidding. I would assume that's a no. So if you're cornered and you don't have a flash, if you don't have an R, you're fucked, I would say. Because if you're cornered, that means that they're coming from all sides. So your best bet is... Wait, let me pull up a map of League. League map! Wait, Alcove is the one thing that they recently added, right? Yeah, so I'm trying to find a map with that. Here you go. Can I like open a new tab? Is it gonna work? Cool. Can I draw on it? No. Snipping too. Work, please. Function properly. Here, because it's gonna let me draw on it. Okay. Close this. Map. So you are talking about being cornered right here, right? Is that what I'm getting? And you're trying to, and you're cornered from here. Wait, actually, let me edit the color. Give me something more red. Here, here, and here. Is that where the enemies are? Or are they coming from only one side? Like, I need to see the exact scenario for me to answer your question. Because there are a couple different ways for you to do it. Just gonna awkwardly wait for Lily to answer my question to her. Because it's just, if they're like this, there's one way to fix it. And if they're like this, there is an easier way to fix it. The first one. What is the first one? I only gave one. This one? I'll just count it to this one. So you're gonna be this blue line here. You're cornered here, okay, and you have enemies all around you. So what are they going to do is come to you, right? Obviously they're gonna try catching you off. Okay. So it's the same thing. Okay. So you have enemies coming all around you here, and obviously they're gonna try killing you off. They're not just gonna be like, okay, I'm leaving. Which is very unfortunate. However, if you have an R up, your best bet is to go towards your turret. So I would say that this is my safe turret here. So I want to go there, right? I will, if we ignore what the enemies are, let's completely ignore the fact that what the enemies are. We can go into specific situations in a bit. You want to go here. They might stun you. Try reaching this specific point here, around this way here. You want to R this way and move yourself up. Your R means that you're untargetable, making you skip this amount here for free. When you land, you're still not out. You EO the feathers in. Wow, this looks like a disaster. You EO the feathers in and you walk away. This is all you can do so far. If you're really fed, then it's a totally different story. You can try killing them, right? But you have to find a way to walk to this specific point here. You want to get there. When you get there, you make your way up, and you leave. Use for traditional attacking speed builds and more AD and haste focus builds, not lethality. Yeah. What is your opinion on those two builds? We're gonna get to there. Let me finish with Lily question. I'll cover that question, but we have a whole build section to answer. So, Lily, does that answer your question? This is how I would leave, or at least try to leave, with this. If the champions from one side are more dangerous than the other, it's a completely different story. You probably want to go towards the side that the champion is less dangerous for you, but then it's going to kind of make your padding to your safe zone harder. Let's say that the easy champion to pass by is this one, and you go this way. You keep running until you feel like they're gonna catch you. When you feel like they're gonna catch you, you ult, you win some distance, you E them for the, because it's, you try getting to a tight spot so all the feathers will stun them, and after you do that, you just walk away. This is in theory, and yes, things can go south, but this is the best bet you have. If you don't have a flash or gear force or no way or a backup coming. If you have a backup coming, just stay alive until they come to save your ass. Okay. The champion has both used for traditional attack speed builds and more AD and haste focused. Aw, thank you Eterno for the gifted sub. And I'm gonna be getting beaten up for a while because I wrapped up the numbers a little bit. Okay, we're done. Okay, so I will cover this a little bit, but we're gonna get to more specific build situations. And more AD haste focus builds. It depends. It really, when it comes to more AD or more attack speed, sometimes it's actually coming down to what do you feel like playing. Xayah is a champion that can adapt to both of them. You're completely 100% correct. It's either one better, depends on the comp. So sometimes you might want to get more AD damage, because for example my build starts with a mythic item, right? That gives you the same damage and attack speed, kind of, if we don't count shield ball. They all have different damages, I know, it's 65, 60, and 55. But my whole idea is they give you AD and they give you attack speed. So that, there's, the choice there is not if you want to go AD or if you want to go attack speed. But later on you can decide. Sometimes I build builds. Good, we pronounced it. That they have no attack speed in them. Like, I literally go on no attack speed build. Because sometimes I go, let's say, Gale Force into a Collector, into a Bloodthirster, into Armor Penetration, into Quick Slash. And you have absolutely no attack speed there. Because I decided, hey, the team fights are going way longer than expected, lifesteal will actually benefit me. Hey, they have tanks, because the fights are going longer, I will go Armor Penetration, because the tank meta right now is insane. And at the end is like, oh, I love Quick Slash, this is my personal favorite item, so I would prefer building it over attack speed. And here you go, you have a full AD damage thing. It has some attack speed to it, but the boots. And then most of it comes to crit and haste. And it's basically a PD and versus Essence River. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get to that because I don't build any of them. Sometimes I do build PD. I know I like Bloodthirster a lot. Yeah, as a champion doesn't have that much Dray tanking build, seems like with a Phelios or such. Yeah, Phelios and Samira can utilize this a lot. So we're gonna go to more in depth. Why do I build Blood Tester? Because, believe it or not, people don't always build anti-heal. And even though Xayah doesn't seem to utilize it enough, if they have a heavy poke build, Blood Tester can really help you stay with your team rather than leaving. It seems like I would prefer having this over attack speed. Because imagine you have attack speed and then you get fucked over by a Xerath and a Lux. And now you're like 15 HP and you have to back because you're forced to. If you stay, you will die. The attack speed in this situation does absolutely nothing for you. But if you have a Blood Duster, you can heal it up and join your team way faster than having to back, reset, and come back. I usually build I build lifesteal when A, team fights are going way fast, when way slower and than usual, or B, when they have heavy poke and I really don't want to back. Because if I back, let's be honest, I am not in challenger. My team is gonna go in and die, and I would not be there. You can abuse it if they don't build out here. Useful versus poke is given. Yeah, exactly. I don't just build Bloodthirster like I used to when Lifesteal was broken. But we're gonna get to my random build that everyone started building in a little bit and then they nerfed Lifesteal. Okay, let's go and track. We're gonna get into builds though. I have a whole section for it. Where's my thing? Okay, here it is. Oh yes, I actually have clips for this. Wait. I don't know. What is this? Okay, the question was how do you decide when you want to use your E for root and when you want to wait to do massive damage? Do we have additional clips for this or no? These are just ults, aggressive plates, team fight. I don't know what this is. Kiting using root to win time and kill. Okay, so 115 as well, rather outside of everything else. So I have... So the first one is gonna show how I'm using it offensively. Is that it? No, when I'm using the root not to kill. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out this organization because they've run out of time. So the first one is, yes, for me to, it's number 70. Where is it? It's right here. Shush. Stop yourself. Jesus. Mute. Nobody wants to hear you. It's me talking on the clip. This is all of these are my clips. So this is gonna show how I utilize my stun to finish somebody off in the long term. So I stun them to catch up onto them and then kill them. So I'm roaming around, getting hit by absolutely everything. Oh wait, that's a different one. Never mind. Myra Khan thanks the stun as a good boy he is. And then winning me some time. He dies. And I E to stun them because if you see here, he gets really damn close to me. Like I need time because I just used all my abilities. I have absolutely no cooldowns up. I do have a heal and a flash still. But he's getting really close to me, making me uncomfortable, so I want to stun him. It does not kill. I know that it's not going to kill, but it's going to win me enough time for me to turn around and kite him back, because he's a melee champion, right? You want to abuse your stun towards melee champions because you can land free auto attacks to them, because now you're further away from them. And then she tanks like 2 turret shots, and I decide to make a very cool E-flash, Q flashy play. That's just flex. It has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But yeah, my whole idea is he got dangerously close. I decided to stun him even though I know I'm not gonna finish them and finish them off afterwards. That's the first scenario. The next one is 115. Where is 115? I don't have that clip. Why do I not have that clip? What is happening? Downloads. Is it under downloads? Aha, here it is. Shush. Okay, you're muted. I actually don't know what this clip is, so I'll have to improvise because Alex just added it. It's the same idea. I stun to kill over time. So let's watch together because I really don't know what's going on here. I don't remember though. Thanks for the follow. Let me figure out why did you tell me to use that? That's more of a team fight and positioning thing rather than anything else. Now, we're not looking that. That's too early. You're wrong, Alex. I'm sorry. Anyway, the next one is I'm using okay, the next one is when I'm using my E to kill rather than stun. Let me open my TikTok because I actually just posted one that it's a good example. Shush. Police. Please, shut up. Why can't I stop it? Okay. Here, we're gonna look at my TikTok. No, I'm completely not promoting it. Okay. So I'm using my E here to kill rather than stun, and I wish I could zoom it in, but I can't, and I deleted the video, so I don't know where it is. Or maybe I didn't edit it. Post it. Never mind. It's not there. Anyway. Yeah. So, we're fighting Baron, and we are going to get in trouble, because the whole enemy team is coming. Okay? I completely ignore Baron at this point, because it's kind of fucked. If I go there trying to steal it, I will get myself killed. So, what I'm doing is I'm stacking feathers, and I used it, like, I use them to kill. In that situation, I genuinely thought I would die. So I was like, I'm gonna throw as many feathers as I can to deal as much damage as I can so they don't all get Baron. That was the idea I had in my mind. They gathered them up. I still don't ult, even though he gathered them up. I didn't want to ult them because I would get myself A, way too close, and B, I wouldn't stack that many feathers. So I decided to ult them afterwards when I can get some distance from the additional champion coming to me and still grab enough people. So Galio jumped there, but I was ready to reposition because it was kind of obvious he's going to do that. I kill as many as I can. Flash. So the reason why I flashed and I didn't Gale Force was because Gale Force might have hit me in the wall and have that awkward, painful, crying place of hell. And then, of course, I just finished the ones off with my other feathers that you can't really fully see. And then I run away. So I'm using my E very offensively here. I use it to kill because they are low. I can see that both here, I hate how it's cut it, but both here I can kill them because I have plenty of feathers and they're very low. And then here, the same thing. I left some feathers after I flashed. The reason why I stopped auto-attacking and after that flashed, because I know I'm going to be traveling downwards, so I want most of my feathers to go there because they're already low. I am trying to add more feathers there. They're coming close to me, and I eat them to just kill them. And then I run away, because that Leona is tanky as fuck, and I was gonna die. This is number one. The other one that I have is 24. Let's go find 24. Here. Where is this? Why didn't I not see it? Where is this? I don't see it in the chat. Oh, I'm gonna get to builds later, so yeah, later. So here we have, again, I'm trying to kill them. Most of the time when you're using your E to kill is because you're being chased down. Xayah is really good when she's being chased down. As you see, I'm getting chased down. They're getting really, really low. So I will ult to get more feathers and kill them. And then afterwards I can just try dodging Xayah stuff and kill them. So again, another perfect situation for you to use your E for a kill. But, as I said, rule of thumbs, if you're getting chased down and they're getting really, really close to you, stun them and finish them off. And if they're very low, wrap as many feathers as you can and finish them off afterwards. So E, make sure that they're chasing you. There's no way of them moving away. Like, if you think that they might move one step away and then that's gonna fuck up your kill, make sure to stun them before that. But if you're sure that they're gonna keep chasing you like these guys did, because they're 3 people thinking that they have advantage over us, then for sure, just wrap as many feathers as you can and just kill them. Again, stuns, roots work way better against melee champions than range champions because they're fully unable to auto-attack you after. Okay. Next one. We have, how do I use my ultimate properly? Do I want to use it as a safety option or as a... Thanks for the follow. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm struggling greatly right now, but thank you for the follow. TWS. Okay. Yeah, it's as far my abbreviation went. Do I want to use it as a safety option or as an engaging burst option? And how do you decide which one, when to use what? Again, as previously said, it really depends. Who the enemy team is, who is the threat, what are their abilities, who is your support, where and what is your team, and are you alone? Like, all of these questions are something that might change the answer, but I try summarizing that. I have 2 examples again. You are going into a team fight and the enemy has Zed and a Rel. We both know what Zed ult does. It goes into you, gets out, and it fucks you up. Rel jumps on you and then stuns you with an additional stun, and you can't move for like the next 15 seconds. So let's imagine they both jump on you. The best option you have is to use your ultimate, because now they both use ult and you're still alive with feathers on the ground. And your team will also benefit more with you alive, which is the most important thing. Don't think about Xayah as a full assassin. She is not meant to go and do her stuff and die. She needs time to wrap up feathers. If you don't have time to wrap up feathers, you die. So I think that Xayah's most important beneficial thing that you can give her is time. She needs time, so keep yourself alive. The longer you're alive, the better it is. I have an example clip for this specific situation where you need to dodge stuff with your ultimate, which I have no idea what it was because I'll watch it like 3 hours ago. Well, let's watch it. Oh, it was a Momo. Okay, I remember. So we're being chased down. Obviously, they have a Queen blind, and what I'm the most scared about is a Yuumi Amumu combo, right? If I get CC'd and stunned by Amumu and then follow up with a Yuumi stun, I am dead, no matter who is there. He catches me. What is he going to do next, right? He catches me because, I don't know why he catches me. He flashed, I think. He didn't flash, which is fucked up. But yeah. Sion got scared and he decided it's time to run, leaving me CC'd by a Momo in the center of the whole thing. It happens. You can't expect your team to tank for you, cause it's not Challenger. So, what do you do in that situation? He landed on you. If he's going in, that means only one thing. He has an ultimate. IR. The moment I see him chasing me down, and the reason why I have that much reaction time is not because I'm really good at reacting to stuff. It's because I know that when he chain me and stuns me, he's going to R. Then we have the awkward missing of absolutely everything, and I need to back off to win some space for myself because I don't want Quinn to blind me. Then Rakan does his thing, and I just killed him. So my point is okay of a play this is. I'm also building Hurricane. It was a troll game, so let me be. You're not supposed to be a Hurricane. I really love Hurricane. I'm so sad that I can't utilize it. But my whole idea is I use my R to dodge, despite the fact that if I use my R here as I did, where is it? I use my R here. I know that my R is gonna land here. He's at the corner here. She's at this corner here. Amumu is down there. There's no way of me utilizing these feathers, unfortunately. I already know that, but it's going to keep me alive, and keeping me alive gets to be more important than actually using my R to utilize stuff. Because if I die, I can't use my R anyway. Next one is your team did a very good engage, like Rakan R with a Malphite ult or whatever, and your best shot there is to RW auto a couple of times and then E, trying to deal as much damage as possible. This is the second situation when you actually want to use your R as an offensive damager rather than a safe precaution. So I have an example of this, and it is number, what is it? I have two, 44 and 50? Is that it? I'm trying to organize myself. Okay. So, let me pull you on the side, guys, in case somebody asks questions. We have another Baron fight pit. I love Baron fights because Xayah can utilize her feathers so well, especially when I do all my feathers. That's just a little trick for you all. Some people might know it. I don't pretend like everyone doesn't know it. But everyone is going to try getting out of there, especially when a set is running at them. So landing your feathers here will grab all of them in the corner. It's just a good place. I like circles and stuff where they're all trapped and all my feathers are gonna hit them no matter what. I don't know if that's what I do here actually. That's just a little trick. So I am waiting here for me to utilize my ult attack wise. So I actually have audio for it. I don't know if you can guys hear it. Yeah, you guys can. So I was so sure of myself here, and Alex wasn't, which was kind of funny. But just listen, enjoy. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Like they're stacked.
Oh my god, this is the perfect scenario. Who got dragon?
Who got the bear? Nice. So like I was sure of myself because it's a Baron fight. And I can go ahead and be aggressive to them because they're all stacked there. So I can go in there. I know that they're all gonna try attack me because I'm running in their face. I can ult and then just finish them all from there. It's just it's kind of easy to see that, but in any other situation it's the same way. If you're sure that you can go and attack them with it, and I'm not even that fed. I'm like 8-5, which means I gave 5 kill away. The game is pretty close, so I'm not going there because I have the bows for me being fed. I am going there because I believe that I can kill them because they're all stacked in the same position. So I know that I can go there, attack them a couple of times, make them angry and try to kill me, and then R so I can dodge everything that they have, and then just kill them. This is one, and then did I show the other one? I think I did. That was 50, right? I think so. No, that wasn't 50. This is 50. Okay. We don't need to listen to this. Alright, we do. And we're gonna listen to it after. I think I was talking to Ali how we can kill them. Actually, here, listen. I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's the problem, actually.
I have Q assist right now. It's just.
Really?
So I'm waiting for them to use the only ability I'm scared of, and that's a Mumu Q. He wasted it, and I went in.
But he has 3-second cooldown, babe.
Doesn't matter. But of course, I am insanely fed here, so I am actually allowed to do that.
Oh my god.
In certain situations, that might not go that smoothly as it is right now, but it does show how you can use your ult aggressively when you know that there's no threat for you. Because you saw, like, I immediately ulted after he wasted his Q. I'm aware that he has only 3 seconds in a cooldown, but I ulted, I go aggressively, and then I back off, knowing that if I get stunned again, I might die. Which is what it happens here, but I did QSS myself out, letting me get my distance and leave. So I'm fully aware that I need to just only get hit once because I have QSS and I can get away with it. If I didn't have QSS there, I would have died. So that's the other thing. That's how you can use your ult aggressively. Again, if you have questions or specific scenarios, just let me know. I'll try going over them as much as I can. Okay. My next one is, in a 1v1, do you prioritize rooting or damage first? Again, it depends. This is more of a talking, so I'm actually going to just go to the client so I can look at you guys. Do I have League open? I have it. Just go listen to me talk for a bit. So, What we have here is, do I prioritize root or damage first? It depends. Overall, you use E to stun when you need the time. Time is waiting for backup, waiting on debuffs, or waiting on cooldown. And you E to damage when you can execute, right? These are the as low as the things can go. You stun to win yourself time to stay alive, and you E for damage when you can execute. An example, you're fighting an Nasus and he just used his W on you. You need time to recover from it because it slows the shit out of you both movement wise and attack speed wise. And you know that you're not gonna get enough damage. So you want to get more distance between you and him, obviously. He's a melee champion, meaning that you are safe when you get more distance. You root him, you get away, or you kill him if you can. Either way, you need time. That's the most important thing. To kill or to get away from that Nasus, you need time, so you need to prioritize rooting him over damaging him if he just withered you, right? Because otherwise, if you try stacking more feathers while you're in a wither, he might catch up to you and just one-shot you. Because we all know how Nasus Q works sometimes, especially if they're ahead. Example 2. You are a 1v2 at the enemy bot lane. And they are chasing you, and you have some feathers lined up. You still have abilities up, so you keep stacking them, and then E when you're out of abilities. So, use most of your feathers on the ground to do your damage. I do have a kind of an example for this. I want to show you some not so 1v1 stuff, but something that we prepared for you guys prior the stream. Give me a sec. And they're also connected with the questions of when to E to stun and when to E to kill. So let me open Medao here. Where is it? We're gonna go to screen capture. And we're gonna go here. Okay. So this is what I was talking about, using your ult and your E aggressively. You're being chased down. My favorite situation. You're being chased by Aphelios and a Nami. Nami just ulted, so one of the troubles is out of the way, right? You dodge the bubble, another trouble out of the way, you can be even more aggressive now. Ult into an E to kill them. This was all kiting / aggressively. So that's how you use it in a defensive / offensive way. You defend yourself by kiting and getting some distance between you and them. You make sure that they use all of their CC abilities, because that's the thing that can fuck you up the most, because you need mobility to reposition yourself for stuns and other cool stuff. But this is how you combine patience, and then after they're done throwing their shit at you, you can just ult them and kill them. This is, of course, yes, this is Lucent and Alex. That's something that I couldn't find the video of it, so that's just how we made it for you guys. And then, look how this one just, okay. Then we have this one. So, it's a 1v2 scenario. You're famous, yeah. It's a 1v2 scenario. We have two people, they're attacking your turret, right? What I see is that I have an ult, they don't, because we've been playing 1v2 the whole game. So, I go in. They have a lot of time before they get to their turret, and it's a tight spot for me to actually go on them. So I prioritize rooting over killing them, because it gives me more time to utilize my W and them to not run away. And after that, miss a bubble, and I can just finish the Nami, exhaust him so I can catch up to him, and E. So I spread my feathers everywhere, because they could have happened, two things could have happened. I have feathers everywhere. Here, here, and here. All of them are barred by 3, if you can notice. I have 3 on the bottom, 3 on the side, and I'm gonna put a third one on top. Why? Because there are two things that can happen when I exhaust him. I can stop moving. I can go above him because I will be moving faster, but he exhausts me as well, so that didn't happen. I could go above him, which means I need to have the feathers here, so when I go there, I can recall them, right? Or the second one is what happened here, which I got exhausted. He's still ahead of me, so I need to stack feathers and kill him. So I try covering almost every scenario just in case. Because he was low enough for me not to need to stack all my feathers at the same spot. If I stack them at the same spot, betting my life on the fact that I will be faster than him, so I stack them here. I stack them on the bottom because I think I'm gonna go above him. Then in that situation, I would have died. Again, would you recommend stacking feathers, including oud feathers, before your E in all cases if you can? Like, if it's safe to. Um, Depends. Are they all 5 champions there? Is it a team fight or is it a laning experience? If it's a laning experience and it's safe to do so and you're sure that they're not gonna reposition, yes, you should prioritize stacking your feathers at the same spot to kill them. However, if they're not that fed, you don't know where the jungler is and you just wasted all your stuff on them, and then you get killed by the jungler, that's on you. Like, it again depends, to be honest. In a team fight, you make sure that if you're gonna be using all of your abilities at the same spot, you're gonna kill at least 3 people. If you can't kill at least 3 people, do not stack all your abilities at the same spot unless you have quick slash. Because with that, you can just regenerate your abilities really fast. But if you're not in that side of the game, which is towards end game, I would not advise you to use your all of your abilities at one spot if you're only going to kill 2 people. Unfortunately, 2 people is not enough. You're the ADC. You are supposed to be the major damage of the team. Of course, meta changed that, and it's not really like it used to be, but the whole idea is that AD carry is AD carry, right? Um, so you want to make sure that you don't waste everything for only 2 people, because then your team is just going to lose everything. If there are at least 3 people there, yes, unless the fattest person on the enemy team is not there. If they have a very fat Rengar and you waste absolutely everything on the Nami, Aphelios, and Nasus, and you kill these 3, but the Rengar just ripped your whole team off afterwards, probably not worth it. So it really depends on the situation. Mostly, rule of thumbs, make sure if you're gonna be doing that, you're gonna kill 3 people and make sure that these 3 people are actually useful. Cool. What's next? In a team fight, how do you decide the best time to ult? So this is probably the hardest choice for any Xayah to make, because how do you decide what is the best time to ult, right? Like, again, it depends, but I'll try helping you with pinpointing a good time, and I'll give you some rules I myself follow. So the first one, and the one I believe the most, is that, as I said before, Xayah needs time, and time equals staying alive, which means that sometimes you will need to R to keep yourself alive. And when you have to do that, you need to think ahead. So my Amumu clip was me unable to think ahead because everyone was spreaded, right? However, most of the times, if you are trying to dodge something, try to think ahead before dodging it. Like, you still have to dodge it, but you need to make sure that your ult is facing in a direction that will help you later on. You want to make sure that you throw your ult to save yourself and leave some feathers to help you along the way, because the fight is not over for when you dodge that ult or ability or whatever you're dodging. You want to make sure that afterwards you can still use the feathers that you placed on the ground, right? And this ult is there to give you some more time for you to dodge something, for you to, I don't know, do your cooldowns, anything. Another thing is that your ult is really good to bait out abilities. Like, Xayah's biggest counter, in my personal opinion, is CC, right? And there is so much CC one team can throw, unless they want to be assholes and just have a full CC team, right? If you dodge the major CCs, you are free to walk in there and rip them off. Like, just rip them apart completely. Because they don't have any more CC. Of course, they're still dangerous, but you still have your team to back you up, hopefully. Right? Because you dodged their CC that is focused on you, which means your team doesn't have to worry about it, and now you have a clean walk through them. That's why most of the times, the best plays I've had is a cleanup. Yeah, I should probably hydrate. That's not a bad idea. Because a cleanup happens when the enemy team uses most of their abilities and summoners and all of those things. And now you can just go there and just completely obliterate everyone. Xayah is really powerful when there's nothing stopping her to roll you over. Let me drink water. Cool. What's next? Okay. Fine, you had to, I guess. Okay, next one. Most of the times, I wait to ult when the enemy team is grouped up. Obviously, I want to catch as many people as possible in my feathers, so I can deal as much damage as possible. Xayah's biggest strength is AoE. That's why I mainly did not agree to the lethality build that everyone was going, because it was a one target focus, and as long as it deals damage, but she can't really do the cool plays, because her most damage comes from her Q. I mean, her E also utilizes lethality, don't get me wrong, but her E will always do more damage with crit, unless the meta says so. You wait for it to group up, and that's the base time to R. My poor VTuber is getting beaten up here. Thank you, Tusk, for following. Okay, let me continue my brain here. Brain power, and put it in 3 sentences. Where was I? Oh, you can also try focusing the weakest. I don't mean weakest by the less kills champions, I mean by the people with less health. Cause as much as Xayah is not an actual assassin, she is an assassin ADC. Her feathers can one-shot people that don't stack armor and health later in game if you have the items for it. Okay, I'm just really getting beaten up here. Okay, so yeah, feathers can one-shot, and sometimes if only one person matters on the enemy team, you try focusing them, obviously. You don't want that person to rip through your whole team while you're trying to focus the people that does not matter. You want to make sure that you and your team focus the target that deals the most damage. So use your ult prioritizing who are you focusing, when are you using the ult, aka what you're dodging or what you're aiming for, and make sure the ult gives you more time. Time could be also because you killed them. Killing them also gives you time. So this is also an option, but sometimes, and most of the times, I actually use my ult to line up feathers for the future. So I line my feathers with an ult, and then I keep stacking them with a W, then a Q, and a E. So my ult sometimes is just used to lay out feathers. It's not even supposed to dodge anything. It's just to lay more feathers for me because people are chasing me down. Again, there's thousands of different scenarios. However, keep in mind, the longer you stay alive, the more damage you will do. You're not a go in and go out assassin or mage. You are an ADC. Your auto attacks do matter. You're not just an ability champion. So try stacking feathers, and only R and E is never enough for team fights, so you need to be able to utilize your feathers with W and Q. And my biggest advice is make sure you're using the feathers above your head, so auto attack people. Don't just slap abilities, you need to auto attack to stack more and more feathers, making it very, very hard for the enemy team to work with that. How should you position in team fights? So again, really depends on a lot of things. So I have a couple of clips that I have not watched. So let's see what Alex actually um made for us. Let's see. Where is the thing? 79. Where is it? 79. Can you guys see? Ah, shut up. Can you see? You can see. Good. So, what do we have here? We have almost dead team. They have a Cho'Gath, a Nautilus, and I can't really see anything else. A Yone, and yeah, this is for now. And a Warwick. I can see it right there. So, I have a couple of pieces of information. What can stun me? A couple of things. Cho'Gath, of course. He can kill me. He can also silence me, which is very bad for Xayah. Nautilus, which is currently ulting me. He has a ult and a hook, right? And we have a Yone. Yone has his R. Then we have a Warwick that is very far down here, but he's still dangerous. You guys can't see it because my VTuber is there. Where is she? She's locked. Move. Come on. Warwick is like right there in the bottom. Anyway. So, then this is the information I have so far. I'm being ulted. Obviously, I'm going to run away because I don't want to be in the middle of an enemy team while I'm being CC'd. So I'm running away. I know that currently my Ramos is in the center of it all, but I am still not really flashing or doing anything aggressively. I'm waiting for my Rakan to go in. He goes in, he groups them up. I am still not ulting because there are still a lot of dangerous stuff. I just see Warwick ult. I have a Nautilus walking in my face though. So, I'm focusing the closest target. I am not gonna run into the whole fight here because I'm not sure how much damage this is gonna deal to me. I am fed, but I am still honoring the fact that he can't CC me, which he does. And if I start walking here, he would CC me around there, making me getting hit by that silence, making it super hard for me to run away. So I'm just waiting. At this point, I'm literally just waiting for the enemy team to finish wasting all of their abilities. And now they're like, oh wow, we have a number advantage of them, let's go. However, the one thing that they don't know is that I have all of my abilities up. The important ones. Like, I have my E, I have my ult, my Q and my W are gonna come back on cooldown, I have my flash and my heal. I ult to add more feathers, I'm not dodging anything. I am withdrawing my feathers. I was thinking about flashing here to grab more people, but this is gonna put me in a very bad position in a very open space. I want to get them tied up like in a corner somewhere, because when I start throwing my feathers about here, they won't be able to do anything. They can't dodge them because they're stuck behind them. And this is exactly what I start doing. Here, I didn't even have to though, but that was my whole idea. That's why I didn't actually move and flash to try grabbing more people, because I'm gonna be left in an open space, making it very hard for me to actually work around it afterwards. And do I even get the penta here? Because I'm cursed to, nope. I'm also always cursed to get quadras, so that's one. Let's look at a different one. Let me open Discord. And then this. 86. Okay. Yeah, we love quadras. Okay, what information I have so far? We have their whole team coming at us. I see an Aphelios, a Galio, a Nautilus, and a Warwick. Very heavy CC team. So, I let my Rakan get hooked. Because I don't want to be the one getting hooked. I am getting targeted by Nautilus, so I am going to run away. And I also have Hurricane again. Don't worry about it. So, I am getting stunned. I make sure that I'm far away from them so I don't get stunned in the middle of everything. I leave my Jax like do his stuff. And I start stacking feathers. Because I have currently a shield on me, which means I'm good. So I walked away and I saw his ultimate and I tried getting out, but I couldn't. I was at the border of it and I was going to get hit by it. So I ulted and I repositioned myself with the ult passing away from him, from Warwick. And then from here is just me Eing and starting kiting. It's just that's all the rest of it is. Yeah, and it's again a quadra kill, because I'm telling you I'm cursed, okay? Just let me be. I'm always cursed. Next one is 101. 101? Where is it? It's here. Okay, we just took inhibitor. Alex, why did you only bring the ones that I'm fed? I told you to show some that I'm not. I don't want to only show, because I have good plays of when I was behind as well. And these are only when I'm fed, and that's not, like... It's not really what I want to show, because they just die. Okay, I don't like this. No, I want to... If you can find some, that would be great. While I'm talking. It's a pentakill, but I don't even want to show it. Okay, 108? No. Was it 115, the one that I said I wanted to show as a... Let me see, how fed am I there? It's a little better, I guess. The team is a little more equalized. So, I see a Cassiopeia. Nah, obviously I'm gonna start walking the other way because she has an R. It's a 3v2 scenario, which means they're gonna run through us. I'm getting exhausted by the Yumi, and we collapse on them. So I get hit by this because I got silenced, which is not fun, but I try ulting away as fast as I can. I flashed into Rakan's Q, so I actually get healed and not killed. And afterwards, I just keep my distance, waiting for them to get low so I can try finishing them up. And I start kiting afterwards and just making sure that I'm gonna stay away. Which is an okay play. You usually always have to utilize your Rakan stuff if you can, like get close to them for you to ult, for them to E you and then ult to save you. Get close to them to get healed. As much as the heal doesn't do a lot, it could save your life as it did here. And make sure that you don't get silenced like I did. Because what I did here is I got silenced, making it impossible for me to ult. Oh wait, I didn't get silenced. I just didn't ult. Yeah, ult on time, people. I just didn't ult. So technically, if I wasn't that fed, I would probably be dying here. So that's why I'm always saying use your ult mostly to save yourself rather than ulting aggressively all the time. I don't like your teamfight plays. You could have found something better. Sorry, Alex. Oopsie. Okay. Where is gonna go, though? In the drive? Okay. Is it for me actually being behind this time? Okay, good. Let's go take it from the drive. I don't see it. Let me know when you post it. Because I want to show something that is not like me just being randomly fed. Because being fed is easy to show. Oh, thank you, Eternal, for the subscribe. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Oh yeah, he said that it's actually gonna be in here. I don't see it. I still don't see it. Oh, it's probably in the base folder. Okay. You can delete everything else. So it stopped jamming in the folder. Okay, let's see. Let's see what you found. Yeah, Alex is the one that edits my videos and stuff, so he's in charge of that. So that's why I'm asking him to do that. Okay, so I have a Janna, they have an Evia and a Misfortune. Let's see what's gonna happen. So, I walk up to stun Evia. I see the ultimate, which means I need to run away from it. Then I see a RA coming out of nowhere, and I only have one way out. I can't go back this way, obviously, because of a slow and a wall, right? I can't really go anywhere, and because of that, I ult. I don't ult where it's safe, I ult where I'm planning on going because I see Hecarim down there. You guys don't see anything. Dang it. That VTuber. Move. Move, lady. Trying to coach here. So, I see Hecarim down there. I have full vision of everything. I don't want to go this way, because I can totally just ult the other way, because there's only one person there, and flash and save myself distance, but it's foggy as fuck and I can't see anything. So what I'm trying to do is position myself in a way that I will plan in the future for them to gather here by chasing me and me finishing them off. So that doesn't really happen. We have Ari dashing this way, right? And then Miss Fortune just walking away. So that doesn't really necessarily happens because she Gale Force? Is that Gale Force use? She does something. Yeah, she Gale Force away, so the only person I'm actually able to kill is the Anivia at this point. So now I need to reposition myself. What do? I just run towards where help is coming, which is Hecarim, right? Then I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Ari Flash, they do their stuff. I'm waiting for them, and now I'm in the 1v2 scenario with a Vayne that is ulting. I don't know if I die, I'm actually not sure. I am utilizing the feathers I have. I'm going to try fighting her before these two disappear. If they disappear, I am dead. So I auto attack, I land 3, I have 3 feathers now, because this one is flying, I have 2 here. I stun, and then I finish her off. And from there, I just try not dying to Ari, and I'm good to go. So, trying to dodge abilities and see where it's safe. You need to know where to go, because sometimes you're gonna go to the place where you don't have vision, and then you're gonna get surprised by their jungler. Or anyone. Of course, right now nobody was there, but you could have not known that. So go where it's safe and where backup is coming. That was a good one. I agree. Cool. What's next? Okay, so I had a question that says, what are hard counters to Xayah and why? How do you deal with them? I put it my hard counters because when I Google them, it comes out as Kog'Maw and Twitch, and they're mainly counters to Xayah because they go with a Lulu, and then they just rip through the whole team. With them, you just try not getting them fed. Literally, they don't really have anything in their kit that necessarily counters you. The champions I found to counter Xayah are Kalista, Samira, and Caitlyn. Why? Because Samira has a W that neglects all your feathers, making them disappear. Caitlyn, because she outranges you and like she can counter any other ADC, she can counter Xayah. The reason why I personally find her to counter me specifically, as people that watch me, I hate Caitlyn, is because she has a kit that stops me from chasing her down. You can't really chase her down. Like how I usually deal with killing enemies is I stun them, I deal some damage, and then I chase them down to kill them. Right? That's the most usual thing that happens when you're chasing somebody. But if you damage her and then you start chasing her down, she nets you into a trap, into a queue, and you're dead. That's why I find her as a counter. Kalista, for the simple reason that she got some buff. Right now everyone is playing her and she can dodge your feathers because she constantly moves. So what I prepared for you guys is me getting beaten up by these two people here. We are going to go back to League. Move my VTuber back. We're gonna go back to League and I will show a couple of things. Create custom. You guys coming? No, we're first, we're gonna be doing, why do you guys can't see anything? Because it's a client. Switch with Lucen, come to me, Alex, go there. I'm gonna show how to play against the Samira. Kind of. So, yeah, we are not gonna have a support for him, because I don't have that many friends, but, I'm kidding. This is just going to help me show you how to deal with a Samira. Lucen, you are picking Swain, and Alex, you are picking Samira. So, when we get into it, there is gonna be an awkward farming till like level 3, 2? It was level 2 first. Then it's gonna be a little awkward farming till level 3, and I will show you everything there. I will show how to work around Samira. So the reason why Samira counters you, as we already said, is because of her W, right? The W destroys the feathers. There are a couple of ways to outplay that. Number one, her W is on a 30 seconds cooldown on level 1. Your E is on a 10 seconds cooldown. As you can see, it's a 10 seconds cooldown. Samira is 30, which means you can already work with this. For example, when you're trying to bait out Samira's W, do not use your W, because your W is on 20 seconds cooldown, cutting everything a little too close. When you're just trying to bait it out, use Q, auto attack E, and they will W. Sometimes they're now, but if they don't W, just kill them. So we're gonna wait a little bit, awkwardly as I said here. Then we're gonna farm till level 2. I will show you what Samira does, and we're gonna go from there. Yes. You guys, now it's your time to entertain here, the viewers. I'm gonna drink water. Very entertaining. I wish I could fast forward time, but I can't. Guys, stop killing each other. Wait, that didn't deal damage to me though. Oh. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, so it one gold for 1 through damage, and if you don't have gold, it doesn't deal damage. Noted. Fun fact about Samira here. I didn't know it. I knew that it deals damage. I didn't know it doesn't deal damage when there is no gold. So weird. Anyway. It's just awkwardly farming here. We have time to type in chat. I got 1 gold! Okay. Oops. Sorry. Habit. Okay, we're gonna wait for me to hit level 2 as well. Listen, you're gonna wait until a while. Okay, so stay. So Samira, what Samira basically does is she just W's destroys your feathers. I just want to make clear that everyone knows why Samira is a Xayah counter before I proceed. So the second one is we're gonna wait for Samira's cooldown to drop off, and I will show how you can outplay it when you have a support that can take Samira's W. So the first one will be how Samira blocks Swain's grab. So, do you have your W up? Alex? You do? Okay, go listen, Shulda. So she blocks that, which means that I fucked it up, but if you can actually play your champion, you can CC them, right? Meaning that you can use that to bait, because your support can do that. I would not advise you to really fight a Samira if you have no way of baiting that W, because if you just stay still. Oh, you don't have W. Never mind. Don't stay still. You're gonna die. Okay. We're gonna wait for his W. You have it? So let's say, don't get hit by the feathers. Leave. Go somewhere else. Okay. Let's say that we have this many feathers and you're like, oh my god, I will flash and CC them. But that's not gonna work out, right? Because they're gonna block your feathers and you're not gonna have a flash, and I'm talking from personal experience. I hate Samira. So, let's say they block their feathers. Here, go and block my feathers. Okay. Okay. Block my feathers, late W. So, we're gonna redo it. Man, we had a better run at the practice run than we had on the stream run, but whatever. We did practice that, it's not going so well. Do you have the W? Okay. Don't get hit this time, because you're gonna die. I'll just... Okay. You ready? Okay, block it. And then swing. Okay. You guys are so slow. They're not helping. What I'm trying to prove is if the Samira blocks my E, Swain can grab her and we can kill her. But either he's not gonna block the E or Swain is gonna think that he's not doing for the whole time. You're laughing, yes, I can tell you, I'll see that. This is becoming a disaster here. No, do you know what? You deserve to die. I can't believe we can't show one thing, guys. Come on, we even practiced that. Anyway, just leave. I'm giving up on you two. My whole point is, if there's a Samira pick and you really want to play Xayah, make sure that your support can help you bait out the W, because Samira's W is the one thing that you actually care about. The rest of her kit is not that scary. Yes, she runs at you and she ults, but if she can't block your feathers, you can kill her without a problem. Make sure that there's a way of you to hit, for her to hit the W. And in team fights, make sure that you wait. Shut up, League. You wait for her to use her W, because her W doesn't only block feathers for herself, it blocks it for everyone. So that's what I was trying to explain with this, and it failed miserably. The other two champions are Kalista and Caitlyn. Let's go back into a game. If we can actually work this time together, that would be great. Come here. Both of you. Go onto the enemy team. Yeah, exactly. When the enemy and your support share the same brain cells. Go to the enemy team. Lucen is picking Kalista. Alex, you're picking Caitlyn. I'm going against the Caitlyn mid lane in the beginning, and then I'm gonna come down, and Lucen after that, you're gonna come as Kalista. So, the other two are Caitlyn and Kalista. So, what does Caitlyn do? She fucks you up with range, number one. I will show you how to trade with a Caitlyn properly. And then I will show you what not to do against the Caitlyn. And at the end, I will show you what to do against the Caitlyn if you actually want to kill them. These are the three things we're gonna cover with Caitlyn. And with Kalista, the one thing that you really need to do is not go in on her unless she's locked down. The best part about Kalista is that Kalista needs to be in range to E, while you as a Xayah do not need to be in range to E. As a Xayah, you need to stack as many feathers as you can and get away from Kalista. And then just E her. Just get out of her spear range so she doesn't have the time to actually E and destroy you completely. Yeah, but I need level 2. These are the things we're gonna be covering. Yes, Alex. We're gonna awkwardly wait for minions, yes. This is our life now. I saw Lucent show at the bottom. But yeah, Caitlyn range is very, very big, unfortunately. And her kit doesn't let you kill her. Why are you here? You're gonna be behind on XP. Which means that the only way of killing a Caitlyn is when you lock her down so the range is no longer an advantage for her, and make sure you're gonna kill her before you start chasing her down. I would say trading with a Caitlyn is better than trying to kill her, because if you try to kill her, you might get killed yourself. And we're gonna show why. So, for the second example, Alex, I will stun you, and then I'll start chasing you, and then you can kill me. Just to prove a point. Yeah. I don't have any yet. I'm dying. Tanking minions. Okay, let's go river now. I'm gonna have level 2. Okay, so step moving. And tell me when I'm at the end of your range. There? I can't attack her, obviously. But he can. So, what is the way of doing that? Your Q is the only thing that is going to be in range, right? So, walk up to auto attack me. My point is, when they walk up to auto attack you, do a QE. This is gonna help you trade. Yes, unfortunately, yours costs mana and theirs doesn't. But this is the only way you can trade with them. The best part about it is that if your support is smart, they are going to go trade at the same time. Auto attack me again. So, Caitlyn auto attack animation takes a little longer than mine. I don't know if that's true or if that's something that I just see, making her vulnerable, in my opinion, for landing more damage on her. I'll hydrate. Give me a sec. Just bully me here. I'll wait for level 3 and I want you to kill me, basically. Okay, now when your wave arrives, let me stun you and then I'm gonna chase you down, but I'll wait for you to hit level 3 actually. Let's give him some XP time. Okay. So let's see you stun them, right? And then you start chasing them down. He missed everything. Even when you're missing, you're still winning. My point is, don't chase a Caitlyn. even landing a stun on her will not really allow you to. I played that poorly. Obviously, I was not gonna land in the trap, and I was gonna use exhaust. But he also wouldn't miss his Q. If there were a Caitlyn player, he doesn't really play Caitlyn. But my point is right now that Caitlyn will bully you. Bully you for chasing her down. She can net into a Q, and this is already enough for you to be half health, right? Make sure you don't necessarily chase them down and mainly trade with them, because if I actually just stopped at the stun and one auto attack, she would be half health, meaning that next time I do that, she would just die. This is how I deal with Caitlyn's when I have to, or I just ban them. If you really hate one champion, you can just ban them. But if you hate more than one, you have to learn how to play against the other ones. Or find a support that will ban it for you. And so on and so forth. Just don't hate too many champions, because there's only 5 bans. So, and the last thing I'm gonna show is what should you do to kill a Caitlyn? Which is gonna happen in a bit for you to thin the wave a little bit. Jesus, my voice is dying. I'm talking so much. Can thin the wave, and on the next one I will demonstrate. Oh wow, you're level 5. That's not fair. Where are you level 5? Yeah, leave. Try to show equalize here. Fairness. I'm dying. Yeah, my voice is literally dying. Jesus. Okay. Wait. Sorry. Hydrate. I hydrated. I usually don't talk that much. Okay, come here. So you stun them, and you always make sure that you want to keep yourself close to them. Walk around minions, and I missed that. That's fine. Here, you're not running away. Walk around minions and try having something to block the net. As long as you something blocks the net for you, or you dodge it one way or another, you will be good to go. However, if you just blind chase them down and you can't keep the range advantage disabled for them, you will be fucked. You always have to be in auto attack range to chase them. Jesus, why can't I talk? I'm hydrating. Okay. I'm gonna back Lucent, are you 6? And then get 6 and stay mid. No, you're free to go. Or do whatever you want. Okay. Do you have enough money for Bereshka, Lucent? Bershka boots, the attack speed boots. How much far are you from the... What if you sell the knives? Go back and save the knives, sell the knives. And then come back. Because Calista, the only reason why it's hard to deal with her is when she gets the boots, because she gets the movement buff, because she jumps further up. So, as we said for Calista, she benefits from longer trades, and because as you, she likes stacking stuff. In her thing is spears, which is a little better than feathers, because for feathers you need to reposition yourself, for spears you don't have to. So the thing, as I said, the benefit of you is that you don't have to be in range for your feathers. So the way of getting Callista is, as you see, she's constantly moving. So even if you have your feathers positioned, you can't really do anything. Wait for them to fuck up and go somewhere where you want them. And make sure that they can't yeah, make sure that they can't withdraw their spears. The reason why I ulted wasn't really because I actually needed it, but because if you actually have a longer trade with them, for example, it took a little bit for you to catch them and all of that, you are going to have a lot of spears in yourself. If you ult, you're untargetable. So she can't kill you with her E because you can't be killed. um, with the spears, of course. If you ignite it, it's totally a different story. So the reason why I ulted was to show that I win myself more time for a finisher because I was able to neglect her spears. Of course, this is a fake example because these are my friends and I am kind of ahead a little bit, but my whole idea is try to trap them down so they stop moving so you can catch up to them, and afterwards make sure that you are out of range by the time you have 1,000 spears in yourself, or you're in an ultimate ready to finish them off. This is the way I would explain how to counter them. Again, I do not enjoy playing against them, so some of these advices might not be perfect. If you have any additional questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. You guys can leave, by the way. But this is the way that I deal with them currently. If it works or it doesn't work, that's up to a person. For me, they do work, and that's how I deal with them. Or I just ban them. Just kidding. If you guys have a specific example of a champion that specifically you think that it counters you or it counters Xayah, let me know and I will tell you how I deal with them. Oh, a capsule. Yay. Another icon that I'm not gonna use and I can't reroll. Okay, what's next? Okay, let's see. We have build time. It's time for us to talk about builds. No, it's not actually. I skipped the whole session. Jesus, we have a lot. Why does Xayah counter? Who does Xayah counter and why? To summarize it, because there's different ways of countering things, I would say Xayah counters low mobility champions because it's easy to CC them, and champions with less health, because she is a part assassin. As any ADC, it's easier for her to kill somebody with lower health because she stacks her feathers and then she just E's and it doesn't matter how much the person deals on the other side. So I would say people like Ashe and Sona, even though Sona has like a speed thing, it's not an actually mobility dash or any type. Like it's not Zeri, for example. So this is what I would say. The people that she counters are low mobility champions and champions with less health. So she's weaker against tanks early game. Late game, it's a completely different story. Other than ADC, what roles Xayah is viable in and why? So I've literally played Xayah everywhere at least 30 times, in my opinion. is if for what I remember. Which means I've tried her support, jungle, mid, top, and ADC. I forgot all the roles. The only other place where Xayah can be good without needing an insane amount of luck is mid. She gets higher level than bot, meaning that she has a target during team fights, making her act like an assassin. Basically, she's higher level than bot lane, meaning that your fighters deal more damage to the bot lane champions, meaning you can get 2 free kills during team fights. She can also build kind of lethality if you really want to go that route, but she can also keep building her attack speed in mid lane. Um, she can be very good against certain champions there, like other ADCs or low mobility mages, like Lux or like Orianna. Things that have low mobility, you can be very powerful against. If they pick something like Zed, LeBlanc, you might have a little less luck with it. The other disadvantages for her is that she can't really roam properly since her kit doesn't necessarily allow her. Like, you can roam, just walk down there and go in with the bot lane or go up there and go with top lane. You can roam. It's just not as effective as it will be if you're playing against a talent that can just jump all the walls and be bot lane in seconds. Who is her best support? What kind of supports are best with Xayah? Not my opinion. More stat based. Okay, and then the second follow-up question for this is whose support do you prefer slash hate for my personal reference. So Xayah kit is really good when it comes to peeling. So mostly she needs engage. And that's why her best duos in bot lane, NA, I haven't looked at the whole world because when I look at the whole world it showed me Korea and Korea is a totally different world. Are Alistar, Xayah, and Amumu. Cool. These both are CC engaged champions, right? Xayah can stun into ult, which gives Xayah plenty of time to finish them. Same Alistar and Amumu. Xayah really needs engage. She really enjoys engages because she can't really make an engage for herself. For my personal best, I would also pick champions that can engage. However, I would strongly believe that Xayah and Rakan can make the map burn if they wanted to. I really like Xayah and Rakan as a duo because of all the buffs that they're getting. However, they are not both in a very great spot, meaning that sometimes Xayah will be benefiting more from a different support in the current meta. So tanks like Alistar and Amumu. So my first choice will be Rakan, and the other ones will be just any other engaged supports. For what supports I hate the most, I would say Sona. I would never play a game with a Sona, I always dodge. I cannot deal with it. Unfortunately, Sonas are way too squishy and do absolutely nothing for me. She has only one CC, which is her ultimate, which might or might not help me, meaning that if before the ultimate she might die to the enemy team like 17,000 times. So I refuse to play with Sonas. The next one is, how do you decide when to push early versus when to let it crash early? So it really depends on the bot lane and how they play. But to be honest, the best sweet spot that you can have is... Wait, I closed my map. Why did I close it? Wait. History. Where is the map? Aha! Here it is. Let me put my snipping tool again. And this is just any ADC guide, that's not really for Xayah. But the best sweet spot to have the freeze in is... What color are we working at? This. If you're bot lane, here. Keep your wave around there. It's close enough to your turret to withdraw if something happens. You are not really in danger for any ganks here, because you're mostly sitting here, which means if they come from there, you just go back. And they have to walk all this way for the wave, meaning that they are gankable. Very easily gankable. So, my personal opinion for any ADC is to freeze the wave right here. After you freeze it, you keep the freeze there, which means you match the enemy ADC auto attacks, You match their ability usage, you match everything. Of course, a little... What? Me sad? Okay, well, I'll restart. Here is the best place where you can freeze. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here it is. This is the best place you can freeze. Because it's close enough to the turret for where you're not gankable, and it's in a very good spot for you to do whatever you want. You stay here and you match the enemy ADC auto attacks. You match their abilities. You make sure that you have the same amount of minions as they do. If they break the freeze, which is possible, don't worry, you can very easily reset it. Make sure you don't touch the wave at all. Let the enemy ADC push it up, then tank the minions, wait for your minions to arrive, and freeze it here. There are a lot of guides on how to freeze it specifically. You can go search them online. They're like 10 minutes long. But the whole idea is they're easily gankable because they're so far from turret, and you're not. So that's where I would keep my wave every time if I actually worked my wave management properly, but I'm too aggressive, so I just keep pushing. But this is the base sweet spot. Now, different things comes in play as well, which is what champions do they have? What champions do you have? Do you want to cheese them? Do you not want to cheese them? Is Drake up? Is Drake not up? If Drake is up, obviously crash the wave and go deal with Drake, and then the wave should reset. If you want to back, again, crash the wave, it will reset back to you by the time you go back to lane. So make sure you always crash the wave before backing. No matter if you're freezing or not freezing, crash the wave. Okay, this is what I have for this. How do you lane with supports, and how do you switch your laning playstyle to handle other kinds like tanks, enchanters, and all of that? So I will separate this into three things. Number one, sustain supports like Soraka, Yumi, Nami, kind of. She's sustain. Poke supports like Xerath, Brand, and engage supports like Alistar, Blitzcrank, kind of. That's probably the worst. A Mumu, stuff like that. You get my point, right? This is how I separate them, and I'll explain how I play with every style, like with every support. With sustain supports, you want to make short trades. Again, with the enemy bot lane, use feathers, and if they don't have sustain, you're gonna win the trade. Even if you technically lose the trade, sustain will help you regenerate the health you lost, making you win the trade over time. So I would say with sustain, do short trades, not long ones. Now here I kind of have to talk about the one thing I explain to every new player, which most of you probably know, but for you to grab the point, I'll explain it. You have sustain. Right. Okay. You have sustain supports, sustain, poke, and engage. Right? These are the three things. Most of you probably know, or some of you know, that sustain beats poke. Because when they poke you, you just sustain and it doesn't matter, right? Poke beats engage because they poke out your engage support, meaning that they can no longer engage, because if they engage on less health, they're just going to lose. And engage beats sustain because it doesn't matter if you're healing or not when they just throw an Alistar in your face. This is the base idea of things. For one or more reasons, that's how I see it, that's how a lot of people see it. So that's why with sustain, if you're playing against poke, for example, you want to do short trades and back off. You might lose that trade, but sustain is going to sustain you while they are going to be left damaged. I don't necessarily like sustain with Xayah because I've run out of mana. So running out of mana is not really cool with Xayah because she relies on her abilities a lot early game, in my opinion. Poke. If I am playing with poke, I let the poke support do their thing. I can help them poke, but not too much. I am going to keep my mana and my cooldowns and wait for the perfect time to finish them off. Poke supports, their whole job is to keep poking the enemy and leave them to be low for you to finish them. So let's say you have a Xayah, the Xayah keeps poking them, they're left with like 200 HP, and you flash QE, and you're done. That's how I play with poke supports. And engage. Thank you for the follow. Tulu Fee? Think? Yeah, pronounced it correctly? um, yeah. So, I would engage supports, I just wait for them to engage. This is the first way of playing with engage supports. You wait for the engage support to engage. For example, Alistair. They go in, they bump them, they stun them, whatever they do, and then you go full in with the QW auto attack E for the stun and making them perva CC'd until you just kill them. And then you have the second way of playing with it where you stun the enemy for your support to follow up. But when you do that, make sure that you know that the support is going to follow up, and if you're not sure if they're going to follow up, don't waste your W. What is happening? Support. Oh, she was covering the map. Her stream was. Oh no, not about that. I was talking about the. Yeah, they were talking about me not showing this one because I forgot to switch screens. Okay. So that's how I play with any other supports. If you again have any specific question for a specific support, let me know. I'll explain how I play with them. But this is an overall idea of how I play with it. How can my supports best help Xayah, and when? Should I take the lead in deciding when to push the wave early or leave that to my ADC? How do I position with Xayah? Question mark. In my opinion, ADC should always control the wave. Support should never touch the wave unless ADC asks for it. Please don't destroy ADC's wave management. Even if they don't know how to wave manage it correctly, that's up to them. It's not your job to do that. Your job is to poke the enemy champions. It is not to touch their wave unless the ADC specifically asks for. The best thing you could do is help them farm on their turret. The best example for this is, for example, your ADC only has one long sword, meaning it will take 2 champion auto attacks and 1 turret auto attack to kill a caster, which you can auto attack it, let the turret auto attack it so your ADC can finish it off and not miss the caster minion. This is the one thing I would say help your ADC do, or if your ADC asks, hey, can we shove this wave, you help them shove the wave. You do not touch the wave otherwise. For positioning lane, with Xayah, you make sure you're far from the person you're afraid of. Most of the time, the enemy support, engage, or poke. Stay diagonally from them and try positioning yourself with your feathers. This is for Xayah positioning. For the support, how to position with Xayah depends on what support you are. Oh, I will cover the Yumi. Sorry, I just saw the question. I'll go back and cover that. For how the support should position with Xayah depends. If you're a Rakan, you should always be in an E range, making sure that you can double E and then W the enemies if she roots them. If you're an engaged support, make sure you're close enough to the enemy ADC so you can engage on them in any moment that the ADC allows it to, so your ADC can follow up. You should never be too far back from your ADC because then your ADC is gonna get harassed for the fact that you're not close to them, making them back off, not being able to farm. So just stay close to your ADC, but not too close that AoE damages can hit you both. This is my advice for how support should position with any ADC. So how do I play with a Yumi? So Yumi has a lot of, as a person that plays Yumi, Yumi has a lot of perks because she's untargetable. But that makes the ADC targetable, and that's the only thing in lane, which a lot of ADC hates. The sad part is that a lot of Yumis don't hop off, so you're stuck with a Yumi just staying on top of you for the whole game. So how do you play with that? You don't. The way that you should deal with this is make sure you stay safe, and you have to survive laning phase. If your Yumi is really not willing to do anything, then you should just play a 1v2 lane, unfortunately. The good part is that Yumis that don't do anything will heal you, so you should just make short trades, use Yumi's sustain, and make sure you don't get caught. Sometimes it will cost you some farm, but make sure you're never outside of XP lane, XP range. You should always be getting XP, don't put yourself behind because of it. You might have to sacrifice a couple of farms, but the good side is that if you walk up for the farm and you get hit, the Yumi will sustain you. So this will be a very, very peaceful for you lane because you will have to stay back and be patient. And later on, Yumi is super broken mid to late game. So the moment team fight starts happening, as long as you didn't feed the bot lane, you should be very easily ready to get kills during team fights because Yumi will keep you alive. This is how I would say playing with Yumi works. Okay. How do you... Oh, I have another thing for positioning for Xayahs in lane. For positioning, you have to also position yourself based on where your feathers are. Try keeping the enemy between you and your feathers as much as you can. Use your feathers to move the enemy in a certain way. Keep in mind that when you use your feathers, like for example, let's go back. This is you. And this is the enemy. This does not show absolutely anything. Fine, we'll change the color. This is the enemy. Actually, they're too far. Right? And you decide to use your feathers and put your feathers right here. That means your enemy will be forced to only travel in this location or behind, but that's gonna make them miss minions, right? Which means now they're cut off. You can control their movements with this. Let's say your support is in the... Let's move everyone. Enemy here. Actually, enemy here. Your support is here, and you are here. You throw some feathers here, meaning that the enemy now has to travel only in this direction, which means you push them to move closer to your support. If your support is an engaged support, this is great, because now they have only two options. Get hit by the support, back off and lose minions, or walk up in front of your feathers in a way that you can stun them. So make sure that you use your feathers in a good way to control the enemy movement. Okay. Next one is, how do you handle when you're behind? So that depends. Is your team behind? If the whole team is behind, then you should just farm up and try equalizing at least the levels. Even if the gold is not equalized, the levels should be. I just noticed the top lane is completely cut off from the map. I just saw it because like anyway, it's just a side note. It's just what I saw. Anyway, so if your whole team is behind, you need to equalize levels. At least equalize levels with your enemy ADC. If the team isn't behind, you need to try picking up as many kills as you can in team fights. That's why sometimes even when I'm behind, I pick collector because collectors helps me KS and helps me get back on my feet. The new shutdown system also makes it really possible to come back. Before it was a little harder to come back, but now having like 1,000 shutdown gold and taking that, you can really get skyrocketing back into the game because of it. So try utilizing the shutdown system. Try focusing, even if your whole team dies and you get 2 shutdowns equals 700 gold, this means you're gonna get 2k out of it while the enemy team will barely get anything because you guys probably die a lot of times. So you don't give that much gold. Try getting kills when you can. Try moving with your team as one or with your support and try trapping people where they don't have backup. If you can't do that, farm up the jungle, farm up everything, and try equalizing your level with the enemy ADC. And make sure that your support wards, because when the enemy ADC and the whole team are ahead, that means they're going to be traveling in your jungle. Avoid going into fog of war if you're missing, both of these. Let me just remove everything real fast. If you're missing both of these turrets, this is your range of passing now. This right here. Right? Don't go past this line freely because they might be hiding in this bush. So play it smart, don't give more kills than you should, and try getting that shutdown gold. How do you play with Rakan and how do your bonuses work together? When do you trigger them? So my personal favorite when it comes to Rakan and Xayah buffs is the backing buff, which is if he starts a back, I can just join it. I use it all the time by pushing my wave so I can back for 3 seconds instead of 8. So I finish like pushing my wave here. he's waiting for me here. I'm pushing my wave here, and I just walk there and join their back. This is the best way to go back to spawn and then walk to lane faster than the enemy ADC would. The second one is the E is super OP. Rakan E range to Xayah is longer than the screen itself on your computer. Well, depends how big your screen is, but you know what I mean. It's really, really big. It's super OP. Make sure you utilize that. Make sure you go back and save your Rakans, please. And yeah, they're both like saying please. Make sure you go back and save your accounts. There is insanely long range, so you are not gonna be in danger to go back 2 steps and save them. Number 2, they can also engage very easily through you. Don't be afraid to walk up closer to the enemy when your Rakan is ready with an ultimate up to dash to you and then murder everyone. This is the second one. The third one is your W early game damage is insane. Like imagine you currently have 2 ADCs with 2 W buffs when you activate this. Literally like you have 2 ADCs. The damage is insane, so utilize the W damage early game. It's really good. By early game I mean pre-level 6. After that it's kind of falls off because Rakan doesn't really build damage. And the last thing that is not really working together, but their kits work really well together. It's not really a buff that they get, but Rakan gathers everyone and then W's them, giving you the whole teammate on a silver plate for you to ult and then kill them. So utilize the kit as much as you can. Don't be afraid to go in. Make sure that you save your Rakans and back together. It's cute, except with Arcana, because they didn't make the fucking skin back together. Anyway. Okay. Okay. You can go. Bye, Alex. Okay. Now it's time for builds. Everyone has been asking me this, so I will talk about it. Builds. There's so many items. I have a lot of questions with them from everywhere to... What is happening? I'm getting spammed by my mom. I'm gonna get in trouble, you guys. I'm gonna get in trouble. Anyway, yeah, yeah, I want fucking to get her back, but there isn't one. Anyway, build paths and runes. I will start with the runes because it's easier, and then we're gonna go to the builds because it's a disaster. Where is it? Where is my runes? I don't know where I am. Runes. Okay, let me create a new rune page. Cool. There are 2 rune ways that I saw that people go. I still disagree with the second one, but we're gonna get there. We have... Hopefully everyone is going lethality. There isn't really a reason for you to go anything else. Unless you really want to go like Rakan, Xayah, Hellblade shenanigans, you can do that, but that's not really something I would advise anyone to do. PTA? Like, press the attack? I don't think so. I don't think press the attack is really viable. So, I would say that little tempo, especially after the buff, gives Xayah a lot more than press the attack could give her. You could go for the additional damage, but to be honest, I feel like you will deal more damage by stacking more feathers with the attack speed than with the additional like damage on the auto attacks. Xayah is not really an auto attack carry, like she's not Vayne. Okay. I don't even know if Vayne deals that, I don't think so. Does she? I don't know. But my point is, Vayne doesn't deal damage with auto attack, Xayah doesn't. So you have to think about not adding more damage to her, but adding more attack speed or wait for her to survive. For the second tree, depends what you build. If you're like me and you don't build Essence Reaver, I go Presence of Mind, because Presence of Mind gives me mana, and I really, really need mana because I am not building Mana Mirror or Essence Reaver. The second option is Triumph. You could go Triumph. Triumph, unfortunately, is affected by Ignites and Anti-Heals, so it doesn't give you that much back. However, it is a good option if you already solve your mana issue. For the third one, really depends. Tenacity, if they have a full team of CC champions, you should probably go that if you really want to. Like, if you're not gonna be building QSS and they have an insane amount of CC, I usually go Tenacity. Like, if they have 5 men and all of them do CC, I will for sure go Tenacity. Other than that, you shouldn't go Tenacity unless they have a lot of CC. Legends of Bloodline. Really depends. So this one actually got nerfed. So some people don't like it, some people do like it. If you're already going to be going to build attack speed and no lifesteal items, I would go Bloodline because it will give me the thing that I don't have, which is lifesteal. If I'm going to not be building, like I'm going to build a whole AD build with no attack speed outside of my boots, I would go attack speed runes. Sometimes you don't know, sometimes people just pick by preference, but these are your two options. For the third one, don't pick last stand, you're trolling in my opinion. You're cut off between Grace and Cut Down. If they have a lot of tanks, especially in this meta, Cut Down is a good option. If they have mostly squishy champions, so 3 champions are squishy, at least, you should go Grace. If they have 3 or more tanks, you should go Cut Down. That's how I feel about it. For the second tree, there are two options. The option that I do not like is Inspiration. Because most of the time people go magical footwear, which is boots, and cookies. So cookies got nerfed to the ground. They are really useless in my opinion now, unfortunately. You can't sell them because they don't give as much gold as they used to, and they don't heal you enough because they nerf every healing possible thing like potions and cookies. I don't think you can benefit enough from this, and I really believe that you will benefit way more from Ultimate Hunter because this reduces like 20 seconds off your ultimate, and your ultimate keeps you more alive than the cookies do. Of course, if they have a heavily poke lane and you really don't know how to deal with it, you could go cookies. But I would say play for later game because Xayah is not an early game champion. She is mid to late game, meaning that you should prioritize that, in my opinion. I go Ultimate Hunter because I love the cooldown reduction on my ultimate. For the second one, you shouldn't go Zombie Ward and go Sporo unless you really want to do that, I guess. Eyeball Collection, I don't like it. You could go Sudden Impact with Gale Force if you want to, and you're gonna get the damage buff every like 50 seconds, so I don't know how worth it is, but you could do it. My personal preference is Taste of Blood, it gives you lifesteal, more or less, so this is the one I choose. For the second one, I go 10% attack speed, 9 adaptive force, and then depends. I can go armor if I'm more scared of the AD, or I can go magic resist if they have a lot of magic damage early game. This depends. You can also go double shield and double magic resist if you're really scared of something, but this is usually what I do. One of these two. I don't go health. I just don't think it's good. So these are the runes I use. Let's see. Yeah, these are the runes I use. You can actually see them if you... This is what I have, and this is my Xayah rune page. I do adjust some of these if I really want to play something else, like a different build or they have more tanks and stuff, but this is usually what I do. Let me trash this. Okay, so this should clean up about the runes thing, unless anyone has any questions on runes. Because I can cover anything. You guys just ask me. This is a place for you to ask. I don't need to only cover questions that were asked before. And the other thing is, oh, how do you decide between taking heal or exhaust? I do not like heal because it got really nerfed. So in my opinion, don't take heal at all. The question should be, should you get barrier or exhaust? So after the heal nerf, I would say the heal is not really in a good spot and you shouldn't really take it because you can't really benefit enough from it. And if you're really scared from something, barrier is just a better choice. But I personally take exhaust because of how good exhaust work with Xayah. So Xayah can't really chase people because her feathers are better when she's getting chased. But with exhaust, you have plenty of time to wrap up feathers and kill them. So you can use it aggressively, and also you can help yourself kite with it. If you're getting chased down and you're yin on 2 seconds cooldown, you can exhaust them and eat them afterwards, saving you a shit ton amount of time. And let's not even start about how good exhaust is against ADC champions that rely on their attack speeds. Like, you just exhaust them and they do absolutely nothing. I personally enjoy and I love exhaust on ADC and ignite on support a lot. I think they benefit the best out of all summoner spells. This is how I feel about it. And I started building exhaust and it's just really good. I mean, taking exhaust. Okay, is Emax still good or is Qmax better? I don't think Qmax is ever better. We had a whole discussion yesterday with Alex. Unless you're going lethality, Qmax is not better. Even if you just utilize only Q and E, Q and E still deals more damage with Emax than it would do with Qmax. But let's think about how much you're using your E compared to your Q. Yeah, like an hour testing damage. Literally, it was the Emax always won, even if it's just by 30 damage. It was constantly winning, and this is only by using 3 feathers. And imagine how much, because the E damage wraps up with each feather you have on the ground. So I would say Emax, it's always going to be better than Qmax unless you're building lethality. This is my personal opinion. So, and that's a follow-up question. Is lethality Xayah still a thing? It's commonly seen in pro play, but how viable is it actually? I don't like it. I don't like lethality Xayah. I never even liked it when it was a thing, and now it's not even a thing anymore. So I feel like building lethality Xayah right now, you're just having fun or throwing or whatever you want to say it. I don't think lethality Xayah right now is better than... I mean, yeah, it's better than attack speed Xayah. In my opinion, attack speed Xayah will benefit you more than lethality, unless of course you want to have fun. They have like a 5-man squish team on the enemy team, and you just want to go there and rip them out. You could do that, but if you actually want to benefit from things, I would say attack speed is better, and I think the lethality Xayah time is over after the nerfs that she and the items receive. And now, we have, what is the to-go build for Xayah? And I don't know if I should even cover this topic because I don't build what everyone does. Like, look at my match history. Match history. Okay, all of this is customs. These are my builds, okay? I don't build what people do. But I will help you how to decide for yourself what to build, and I will explain why I build what I build. You can agree or disagree with it. I don't care. I'm here to tell you why I build what I like and how you should decide what to build. So, you have a couple of options, right? You have the first option you're facing is, do you want to build Shield Bow, Gale Force, or Krakens, right? This is the first ever option you will face. Let's open this game. Why did I build this? I think it was because I wanted to build it, but that's a different topic. Alright, that's a bad example. Where is the other one? It's here? Aha! Okay. This is a good example of why I built Shield Bow. It was a fast game, but it doesn't matter. So, I built Shield Bow because on the enemy team there is a Misfortune, a Fizz, a Kha'Zix, and a Malphite. If they didn't hard end, they would just jump on me and rip me apart. While Shield Bow will help me get enough time for me to kite it out, ult out, flash out, whatever I want to do, right? Because if I have Gale Force here, I can't really Gale Force out of every single thing. But Shield Bow might actually save me from that one thing that was about to hit me. Because you can't Gale Force from Fizz ult. It stays on you no matter what, right? You can Gale Force from Misfortune ult unless you're hard CC'd by Zerat or Malphite, and I didn't want to take that risk because I didn't trust that I could do it. I didn't trust myself that I can dodge absolutely everything. So, and plus Wilson was playing Renata, so yeah. I'm just kidding. So I decided to go with Shield Ball, and that's when I go with Shield Ball when I feel like their team is threatening me a little too much for me to feel comfortable trying to fight them with an aggressive item. Then why do you build Gale Force? I build Gale Force in any other scenario because it's a good item to chase them down, and it's a good item to run away and dodge abilities. It's good for you to reposition for your feathers. It works. Um, Krakens? I don't really build Krakens unless I'm ahead. If I'm really ahead, I would build Krakens just because it gives me additional damage and it gives me attack speed to all the other legendary items, which helps Xayah a lot. However, unfortunately, there are too many champions that can jump on you and kill you, and you're gonna be stuck with a Krakens that will not help you in any way to win time. And for you to actually utilize Krakens, you need to be out attacking. So if you get jumped on and then you get insta killed, it doesn't matter what damage items you have. And that's what brings me to the other thing. Why the F am I not building what everyone else is? I've never built what everyone else builds on Xayah for a very long time, and that is not because I'm a rebel, but because the builds that everyone is building does not really match the way I play. For example, when the first time the mythic items arrive, my favorite build, as a lot of you know, was Shield Bow into Collector into Bloodthirster. Because the lifesteal was insane. Before the buff, before the nerf of the lifesteal items, you could heal yourself to full health by 2 minion auto attacks. It was so good for everything. Even if they build lifesteal with anti-heal, it did not matter. So I used to love this build so much. It's still kind of viable, but after the nerf, it's not the same. So I don't really run it that often anymore, but that's what I used to abuse back then. That's how I hit plat actually. I hit plat and then I stopped playing because rank gives me too much anxiety. I do play rank flex though, cause why not? I'm going to start going back to rank now, cause everyone is saying, "Oh my God, you're hard stuck in plat 4." I'm not hard stuck if I'm not playing. I have like, how many games do I even have on rank? Like 40 games. I don't know. I have like 40 games on rank. I'm not hard stuck. I just don't play solo queue. Gives me anxiety, but that's besides the point. Um, this is why I built that build before. Another thing that I feel like a lot of people don't utilize enough is this amazing item that gives you 60 damage, 20% crit, and 30 ability haste. This is insane even if we stop thinking about the next part, which is your critical strike with attacks reduce your non-ultimate ability cooldowns by 20% of their remaining cooldowns. This is huge. This means that every auto attack that crits, if you have 100% crit, is so good. Every auto attack that crits, which is every auto attacks because you have 100% crit, because I built this item close to last item, will reduce your cooldown by 20 seconds, meaning that you will probably have your W and your E and your Q every 2 seconds. This is so good. It's so good. It's really, really good. And I don't know why people don't buy it. So if you get one thing from this video, buy this item. Seriously. Just try it, okay? It's even having like daggers thrown in the image. It's meant for Xayah. It says it right here. Anyway, I cannot just stress that enough, how people don't build this. Okay. The next thing I build, and some people tell me not to build, is Bloodthirster. So, sometimes I actually, yeah, build neighbors, that's the law. That's Xayah's law now. People tell me why am I building Bloodthirster. As I said earlier in this video, Bloodthirster sometimes will save your life and save you a lot of time for you to having to back and leave your team to die. If they have a heavily poked team, you, in my opinion, should build Bloodthirster. Or they have a long team fights because you will benefit from it even if they have anti-heal. This is my personal opinion for Bloodthirster. The reason why I build Collector, a couple of things. Number one, it lets you KS stuff, which means I get more kills, which means I get more items. I like it. Number two, I am super unlucky and I always leave champions with like 15 HP. Collector takes care of it. But do not build Collector if they have a heavily tanked team, because you're not gonna do anything with it. Okay? Collector is good for these specific reasons and these specific reasons only. I build it because it matches my playstyle. I stack a shit ton amount of feathers, and it's basically you have an execute on your feathers. I love this. I've always wanted to have an execute on my feathers, and now they gave it to me, so I'm using it. Like it or not, that's why I build execute. That's why I build it. That's how I feel about it. I have such an unhealthy attachment to them. Why? It's a good item. Okay. I build this item a lot, which is armor penetration. So Lord Dominic is really good in this meta. As you saw, I am building it because they have an Aatrox that builds armor. They have a Pantheon that builds armor. Actually, he builds armor and health. They have a Silas that builds a shit ton amount of health, and they have a Mumu that builds armor. What does armor penetration do? What does Lord Dominic does? It gives you 30% armor penetration. Number one, it also gives you crit, which works with your E. And the third and last thing it says deals bonus physical damage against champions with greater max health than you. You're an ADC. Everyone has greater or max health than you. It's a good item when you're facing a heavy health / armor team. So I build it a lot, and sometimes I even build it second or third item because they just get super fat and have an insane amount of armor, and I want to deal damage. And then I played Nuno in Aram. Okay. What else? Okay. So why do I not build IE? I don't like it. I think there's just so many better items you can build instead of IE. I 100% agree with all of you that IE gives you additional damage, and it works with my E. That is 100% true. But, as I always said, I don't think that what Xayah is missing is more damage. I strongly believe that by the time you're gonna build IE, which is 4th, 5th item, or maybe 3rd item if you really want to, by that time, your feathers deal enough damage. I strongly believe that you should focus on keeping yourself alive rather than getting more damage. Most people that I've seen complain about, hey, by the way, what should I do? What should I build? I'm constantly getting killed. Yeah, you're getting killed because you go Krakens into IE, into Lord Dominic, into whatever other item is. Like, what was the build that was making me go mad yesterday? What is it? OP.GG. Let's see. Champions. Xayah. It doesn't give me the rest of the items. But people are going Krakens into Phantom Dancer into IE. Okay. What do these items do for you? Krakens gives you damage. Phantom Dancer gives you attack speed and a little bit of movement speed, so that's good. And the third one is you get IE, which, what does IE gives you? More damage. So, if the enemy team has people that will threaten your life, which is aka most of the games, you are facing them with more damage, and it's basically be kill or be killed. Which is very risky assumption because you're an ADC and most of the time they're gonna have a lot of damage and or a lot of health. So, unfortunately, I don't agree with this build because it stacks way too much damage and nothing to help you utilize it. Because now you're only left with one ultimate. That's the only thing that can get you away. You don't have Gale Force to get away. You might or might not have Flash, because Flash comes every 5 minutes? Am I wrong? Lucent? Is it 5? I think it's 5. Yeah, good. Once every 5 minutes, you have no way. You have to have perfect positioning for you to fully utilize that build. yes, it will deal more damage if you can stay alive. That's all I think about this build. If you can stay alive or you have somebody to keep you alive, you can utilize this build. But the moment your team falls apart and you're facing alone against 3 champions, you might just die. This is how I feel about it. I don't like IE because I feel like there's way better items to build. Maybe I'm wrong. I would accept it. I don't like IE after the rework of IE. After the whole whatever they did to all the to all the items, I personally do not like IE. Personal opinion, you can hate me for it, you can disagree with it, that's just how I feel about it. I gave you the reason why I don't like it, I gave you the reason why I like different items. So let's find a game that I was almost full build. This one. I have a Gale Force with a Collector second, which again, it's my personal opinion. You could sell that and just buy an IE later. Into a Lord Dominic, this BF would probably be a Bloodluster. Yeah, you have very long fights. We have Ileana into Yorick with a Galio and an Echo. So I would have probably went Bloodluster here just to keep myself alive a little bit longer. And I am using Collector because Galio, Jinx, and Echo can be abused and bullied by the Collector. And also I just like Collector. This is how I feel about it. This is how I play Xayah. Like it or not, this is what it is. I will actually try building more IE in the next couple of days. I'll keep you updated if I like it or not. But the actual item that I want to give a chance to is Essence River. I have not built this item since before the mythic items, when Xayah was building Essence River first item. I have no opinion on Essence River because I have not built it at all. I want to remove Collector and build Essence River and see how I feel about it. I have no opinion on it yet. Because it's a recent add to the Xayah build, so let's see what it is. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I want to feel it. Stat-wise, I don't do anything stat-wise. I don't use stats to determine if a build is gonna fit my playstyle. I just throw some stuff in there, see if I feel like it, and if I like it, I go with it. Whenever I build IE, I feel my soul die a little, not gonna lie. Yeah, true. The build assumes your support is good and that will keep you alive in every scenario. Yep, like literally if you're building no mobility build with absolutely no way of keeping yourself alive, you just rely on your team so much to keep you safe. And let's be honest, you can't really rely on your team. It's League. Okay. If you have any other questions on anything, let me know. If not, I will continue with the next questions. Does anyone have anything for um like does anyone have anything for builds or anything at all? Although I have a question, how tall are you actually? I'm 5'1". I am very small. I just looked at one of the questions and this is the question. How tall are you? I'm 5'1". For whoever asked, I'm 5'1". I'm a very small person. I'm a small feather, yeah, true. And then I have a couple of questions from Twitter that I'm trying to get out right now. Okay, some situational builds that you have to put practice that actually work. So the lifesteal one, the full lifesteal one, you can actually make it work if the circumstances are in your favor, as I already said. A different one is me building Hurricane. So Hurricane is actually a really good item if they have 3 or more melee champions. If they have 3 or more melee champions, Hurricane can be utilized really well. You might not disagree with this. That's how I feel, and that's mainly because I'm desperate and want to make Hurricane works with Xayah. I really like this item. So cool. Imagine if you can just spread feathers with Hurricane. That would be amazing. Anyway, Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to explain everything and explain why I'm doing something and why I'm not doing it. Um, it's just this is again not a league coaching session. It's just how I see Xayah and how I play Xayah. This is how I feel about it. Okay, then we have a couple questions about lore and stuff like this. So, what is so appealing about Xayah playstyle that makes you want to have 2.4 million mastery points on her? Well, it wasn't really lore, like it wasn't really kit wise that made me love Xayah. It was lore wise. She caught me in a very, very hard part of my life. And she gave me strength to continue it because in her lore she was left completely alone and she kept fighting for her dreams, which made me really like her. So Xayah made me play League, not League make me play Xayah. I discovered Xayah before I discovered League. And that's why I'm playing Xayah. And that's why I want Trick her because I attached to her so much. The next one is, what do you think of Xayah and Rakan's lore? Cringe AF. I was explaining that to the two guys here yesterday. It's just a basic, oh, la 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 la, my whole family left me, I'm fighting for my cause, which is cool, I like that part of the lore, and then I am going to go murder people and release the magic. Oh, look, some guy distracting them, I'm gonna use him for distraction and do my job. Oh, this guy actually fell in love with me, started chasing me down because he's very horny. I'm gonna play hard to get because I'm a cool female. La 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 la, fast forward a little bit. He's actually kind of annoying, but I kind of like it. I love you, let's have sex. End of story. That's literally what their lore is about. Yes, it has some romantic sides to it, but that's what it is. It's cringe AF, and it's the first love story I actually liked, because I used to hate love stories when I was younger. So I guess I did a good job, but it is still very cringe. That's what I think about their lore. It's cute and all, but if you summarize it to all the details, that's how it's gonna be spit out. Do you think she's played enough among the League community? Should or shouldn't people play her more? No, please don't play her more, because if you play her more, that means she's buffed, and if she's buffed, she's gonna start getting banned, or people are gonna start picking her too often, so I can't play her. Don't play Xayah, let me just play Xayah. But seriously, now a lot of people don't play her. She has less pick rate than Kindred, which we figured out yesterday. She has a 2.5% pick rate and 0.06% ban rate, which is probably just me banning her when I'd say, if I'm not playing her, no one is. So, no, people don't play her enough. Should people play her more? I mean, if they want to. I'm not gonna make anyone play her more. If you really want to, go ahead and play her. She's fun. But yeah, that's how I would answer that question. What's a secret fun fact about Xayah? I actually sent Lucent on a discovery for finding one because I'm trying to find a secret fun fact about her that is not fan made. And the only thing that we figured out is that she is 100 years old because she's a Vastayan and apparently she does not lay eggs. These are the two things we could find. I'm sorry for whoever asked that question. That's all I have for you. Alright, what's your favorite skin on Xayah and why? What's your favorite chroma and why? And I love how the question answer itself because it says besides the event exclusive chroma. So yes, my favorite skin is Elderwood and my favorite chroma is Emberwood, which is the skin exclusive, event exclusive chroma, which is the black and purplish. Who is my next favorite one? I think it would be green because Emberwood green chroma gives me a lot of memories of when I first started playing with Alex. This is my two choices. I don't really like Star Guardian that much. I think it's a little overrated. And I like Arcana, but they fuck up the chromas a little too much for me to like it a lot. And the other three skins, they could have looked better if they were made a little more recent. That's how I feel about her skins. I was gonna make a rating for her skins. I don't know. Do you guys want to do that? Because I can do that. I didn't really prepare for it, but that's kind of what I wanted to do for this part. And this is the end of the doc, so does anyone have any questions? Actually, there are more questions, but does anyone have questions anyway? Because I have, which skin would you give to Xayah and Rakan besides Spirit Blossom? I would give them Wither Rose and Crystal Rose. I love those skin lines, and I think if one of them gets Wither Rose and the other one gets Crystal Rose, it will look really cool. Preferably Xayah Wither Rose and Rakan Crystal Rose, but I can take anything. What would you tell Xayah if she was real? I would ask for some of her feathers. Because it's cool, imagine having one of her feathers. That would be cool. I don't know. Instead of an autograph, I just want your feather. You can even stab me if you want me. I can just keep the feather, right? If I can give Xayah a buff, what it would be, I would give her lower cooldown on her W. I think I could really benefit from it. I really like her W. Elderwood is such an amazing skin. Yeah, it is. I can do a skin rating. Yeah, give me a sec. What is your favorite chroma? As I said, Emberwood. Which prestige would you give them if Brave Phoenix did not exist? If I'm just picking from the skins that already exist, I would give them Elderwood. If there was Spirit Blossom, I would give them Spirit Blossom prestige skin. For both of them. And I hate Brave Phoenix. Prestige. And both, because they're not magic.